Ah, ne. Zack. So, Achtung, wo muss ich denn hin? Ah, das ist nur das Schild gewesen. Das Schild brauche ich nicht. So. Hopp, hopp. Okay. So, wo ist sie dann?
The daily routine.
Im Patientenzimmer. So. Ja.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
So, Achtung. Krankheit verringert die Brutalität. Verwendet die richtigen Medikamente, um sie zu heilen. Sprich mir Patienten. Ist immerhin nicht da. Okay. Jo. Machen wir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here?
Das stimmt.
I don't want to talk. My
Can't
throat
imagine.
hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
So.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So
Leave
painful
the
I'd
killer
rather
in.
not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Das habe ich den doch gar nicht gebraucht.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
If, was braucht der? Der braucht Behandlung gegen...
I'll let you get some rest then.
I'm alright.
Gegen
Don't waste your
Untersuchung.
time with...
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Habe ich das dabei? Handlung gegen Erschöpfung.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
Jetzt.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Kann ich dem nicht helfen? Welche Taste war denn das? Oh.
Do you need any help?
Ah,
I'm afraid I may, sir.
mit E.
I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden,
Genau.
sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
So, haben wir da noch was Neues?
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir.
So, das Bürgermenü. So. Da echt gesund.
Doctor.
Was braucht die?
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Ah, falsche Reihenfolge gehabt.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
So.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the
Schauen.
uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering
Neuer
you?
Hinweis.
Some of the
Südwärts,
staff were
sehr
not
schön.
especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude.
What do you mean?
She managed...
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Okay, das hat eh. Da ist nichts mehr. Jetzt gucke, ob die irgendwas Medizinisches braucht. Nö, die ist gesund. Na gut.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Dann können wir zum nächsten
I'm
gehen.
all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Der ist erledigt.
You always knew the words to calm the children,
Oh.
Ellen.
Den Kamerad.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey
Schauen wir
Fiddick.
mal.
All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a
Die
regular
ganze
guy waiting to get his arm
Frage
fixed,
hier.
so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Das habe ich jetzt alles. So.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Hier, brauchen wir das.
We may lack the resources, but we have some of the most brilliant minds in
Keine
London.
Netzsprecher.
I will not let you down, my
So.
boy.
Good evening,
Was
sir.
weiß.
I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Aha. Das sagt er zu mir einfach.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've...
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
So, Achtung. Hm?
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine,
Nochmal.
perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Er ist immer noch gesund.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Der ist okay.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Dr. Reed, may I help you?
Weißt du was?
What can you tell me about the epidemic